Okay, guys, we are ready to go live. Okay, excited. Evan, you're gonna be coding live. Coding live. I hope my audio doesn't suck today, and I will ask for your forgiveness beforehand, guys. So bear with me here until I become a professional YouTuber. Hey, yo. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Life. Hey, yeah. No one is here yet. So how do I do this? I'm just gonna mute
Yo.
myself. Hey, yo.
Yeah.
How's it going? Go ahead, doing. I thought you were traveling.
Well, I just came back. I'm eating a burrito now.
Awesome. How was it?
It was great.
Nice.
Share a photo. Let me see if I can share some photos.
Nice. Hey, did you like my deep faking that I made with you on an environment of Jack Ma?
What the? I don't want to see this. It's scary.
Jack Ma, man.
I don't want to be associated with that economy.
Ah, come on, man. I thought only thing matters is the money.
No.
Damn, my internet is bad today. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, actually, guys, if you guys notice any type of echoing, or please let me know, and don't mute myself. Hey, Woods, how are you?
I'm good. Just finished up some work. Yeah, don't record my Jack Ma comment.
Oh, he's already on the internet. He's already got a notification about you. You in his shit list. He's like, Edwin, check. Hey, did you guys see the hearing for the CEOs of the tech companies?
Well, I just thought I just came back. I'm just following up on the news now. So it actually seems very interesting, right? So what's going on? They're actually going to crack down on the tech.
Yeah, they were pretty mean, man. They were like on a rough spot.
No, they're not, dude.
No, but they saw how the senators were
They're
speaking with
absolutely
them.
not going to do that.
Or the congressman, whoever was like.
I don't think they have the spine to do it.
No, I mean obviously, but they have to show that oh, we are doing something,
No, they don't.
What do you mean?
No one. Actually, I feel like it's not even on anyone's radar.
No, it is. It is a hot topic.
Of course it is. It's a hot topic, Evan.
Dude, no way. That coronavirus is still that topic. It doesn't matter if they break up big businesses. Also, Democrats will definitely not break up big business if they.
No, of course they are not. But they're just playing a role, in my opinion.
So what a waste of time. That's infuriating.
That's called politics, my friend.
Thank you, Tom. Expert pundit.
No, I'm not an expert on that, but I'm just saying.
Well, I don't know. Like 4 or 5 months ago, I didn't think the world would almost be coming to an end. So anything can happen in the next 4 or 5 months at this point in this year. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's in the surplus.
Evan, do you ever do anything with the virtual ed thing?
The virtual env is started.
No,
I just wanted to, yeah. In what?
For work.
Oh, I didn't end up doing anything about it. I guess for, I don't know, people listening in or whatever, we had just like personal preference. I was like with someone who keeps their project inside of a virtual env folder. So like you create a virtual environment, usually sits in a folder, and you activate it there. And this person in some documentation was suggesting that you should clone your repository into the virtual environment folder, so that way, you know, you would basically like change directory into the virtual environment folder, and there would be your project folder as well. I was really like apprehensive about this because I was just like, man, I've never seen that really recommended anywhere, and I wondered if I should like comment and like start a conversation there. But I read up a little bit online, and people do it different ways. People do it even more ways than I had initially even considered or thought about. Whereas I usually just create an environment folder, and so I figured it just wasn't worth like bugging someone about what is their personal preference, just because I feel that it should be one way or another.
Did you find like anything super interesting that's worth sharing?
No, I didn't find anything interesting. In fact, I think I just found a lot of bad advice on the web. Like, just lots of Reddit threads about people doing all kinds of weird shit or recommending tons of third-party libraries. And it's just not necessary to make it that complicated. Just use the built-in Python 3 venv package. Like, there's never... I'm so anti-dependency if you don't need it, Like, if you don't need a dependency, do not even bother. I just don't think it's worth it, and I need context. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, I agree with just about everything you said. I think context drives a lot of things, though, and like a lot of the things in Python. And I don't know when the end was like added to the library, but I know it wasn't always the case. So at a certain point, like it wasn't standard practice. And it's just like a lot of people don't go through the effort of being like, okay, the thing that I implemented is no longer the right way of doing it. Let me fix it. And they'd rather be like, no, I was right all along. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, that's fair.
Anyone else joining this VS Code session?
I think Lee was supposed to come.
Yeah, everyone else needs to join us there.
Hey, Jatin, how are you?
No way. All right. Hi, Jatin. Hi, Andre.
Hi, guys.
Oh, Andre. Oh, you can ask everything about virtual environment to Andre, actually.
Yeah, so, I don't know, if you're watching my stream or if you're not, I'm just sharing screen on this, like, I PR'd whatever we're working on today to, like, go through it. And so I actually see Edwin commented here about using a for loop. I shamelessly stole this test cluster file from somebody, so I think maybe we should take it up with them. Andre, we hear you. You're good. Oh, good. So something we had talked about last time, or that Lee had really wanted, was like setting up some kind of cache. Wait, can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yep.
All right, cool. Sorry, I just keep getting like it says. I keep getting red bars in Discord, so I just don't know. So I had just set up this PR as a way of kind of like showcasing whatever it is we're going to work on today. And so what's really here is a Docker file that just has an instance of memcache on it. And memcache is just something that we can use to like get set values with like a timeout, really similar to like Redis. It's just like a cache that holds on to data for a temporary amount of time. And so last week what we had done was we set up like a reverse proxy that would ping our two kind of like Flask applications that were sitting in different Docker containers, but they were like pretty much identical. We were just kind of demonstrating how we could load balance that way. And so now we want to tie into our kind of like Docker Compose application or our development setup. We want to tie in this instance of memcache. So we have a Docker file here for memcache. We want to basically set up another service in our Docker Compose file that uses this image. And it basically just kind of runs this to set it up. This just kind of starts the memcache instance.
Let me know if there's growling before. Yeah. Let me know if there's growling behind me. The dog is growling. I can mute myself.
Okay. No, sweat. So I'd also, just for local testing, I also just included just like an SH file to show how you could just kind of build and run this single container locally. And then this nice gentleman on GitHub that I stole all this from also had a really good application for testing a cluster of these. You can see here it connects to several different ports. This is basically just saying localhost and port 11.2.11, and then 2.12 and 2.13. So this is assuming you have 3 of these running, and it will connect to all of those and store a bunch of random strings there. And this one will test only one instance running on a single port for localhost. So yeah, yeah.
So how do you run either the memcache or the test file?
Yeah, so what we'll basically do is kind of just like these steps. We're just gonna build our memcache file. Like, so if we weren't even thinking about how to integrate this as like a microservice yet, and all we want to do is to build the image and then run the image, we would just use these 2 commands. This just has a bunch of other optional arguments. We can exclude those, so it looks a little more complicated than it should maybe. But we're gonna build our Docker image as an example. We're gonna tag it. This is just so we can reference it later in the run step. And this dot just means build the local Docker file. So I'll demonstrate that in a sec. And then we're going to run our Docker image. And at that point, since you see the port is mapped 11.2.11 to our machine's same port on localhost, we'll then be able to access it with this Python client file, basically. And the only dependency is a third-party library, PyMemcache. Does this sound okay? Is everyone on board with this? I know Lee wants to implement a real distributed cache from scratch. Maybe we can, I'm having a little busy week, maybe we could aim to do that next week or something. And I also posted just a link in the text channel for someone who implemented a distributed cache in pure Python, or almost pure Python. So we can definitely take a look at that next week. But I figured to build on our microservice thing, we just kind of give this a shot.
Yeah, we can also look at the source code for PyMemcache or documentation on how that's built.
Okay, sure, totally.
But according to Lee, that video that he sent is pretty much summarized pretty well how to go about it. Did you watch it?
But Lee sent an entire Coursera course.
Oh, it's an entire Coursera course. Wow, that's a long.
Is there an individual video?
No, I thought because I actually didn't look at it, but I forgot that was a Coursera course, like a completely Coursera course. Yeah, it's too long.
I think he's done that in response to what I've been saying. And essentially, my position has and still is that a cache is just a database. And we're basically, like, if we're going down that route, we're basically just recreating a database. And he sent a video that responded to that, basically saying that there is another layer on top of it, basically allowing it to be distributed across nodes. But that's something databases allow you to do by partitioning. But I do want everyone to join in this VS Code. I don't know if you guys have ever worked with LiveShare, particularly John and Andre, because we did this last week. But essentially, like, right now I can type in his VS Code environment, and if I want to try something, like, we can pair program. And it can be a lot of fun.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, I'll switch over to my VS Code.
So you're telling me I can get VS Code and we can type together?
Yes.
What text editor do you use, Andre?
Plain text editor. I like Atom.
Oh, Adam. Okay.
And but I mostly work within the PyCharm IDE.
Oh, PyCharm is. I like PyCharm.
Yo, Edwin, why are you commenting on this pull request like you're my boss? What are you doing?
Better solve problems before the deadline.
Did you requested my review, right? I'm just going to.
You were the only one I was able to request for some reason, so you're just, oh wait.
I think there's a reason. I know GitHub knows that I'm like a frequent reviewer, so.
My comment would be using more descriptive commits names. Memcache stuff. Add cluster test memcache. Get a little more detail.
Yeah, and you also you made your repo actually block the PR unless you get an approving review. I would have blocked you.
That's so mean.
Yeah, you can merge it.
Yeah, no, you can merge it because he didn't turn on the configuration to only allow approved PRs. But I would not have approved it unless you made the changes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, you can merge it if you want. It looks like I'm having a really hard time streaming.
You want me to stream?
Sorry, I guess my internet is like particularly bad today. I was noticing when I was like SSHing into places at work today.
Do you have
I
Spectrum?
thought like I had done something, but I just have really terrible like latency right now. What's up?
Do you use Spectrum? Is your service provider?
I do, yeah.
Yeah,
Spectrum.
they've been going
I have no
through.
choice. I only have Spectrum.
Yeah, they've been going through. Like I have like some up and down in terms of speed lately. I don't know why.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
I've had my service just completely cut out on me before, so that was fun.
Oh.
All right, let me end my stream. How do I end my stream?
All right. Is anyone joining us in VS Code or no? Andre, Edwin.
Edwin, get in the VS Code. Ugh.
I'm eating a burrito.
We do both.
Oh my god, how big is that burrito? You've been eating that burrito for like 30 minutes.
No, but then I have a quesadilla I also want to finish
Oh
too.
my goodness.
I'm doing the download.
Nice.
But
Okay.
I can only stay for the next, say, it's 20 minutes.
Yo, I made homemade.
What you make?
No worries, man. I made homemade quesadillas earlier in the week.
There
An
we go.
Italian man doing quesadillas.
Quesadilla. Yeah, I can't.
Quesadillas.
All right, cool. I guess if you're watching Matt's stream, I want to just quickly demonstrate how this kind of thing would work. So if we were just kind of like in yeah, wait, can you see this? Like the LS stuff, does it show?
Oh, where's my yes code?
Yeah, I only see one line. Hold on, I gotta trash. Okay. Yeah, I only see 2 lines.
How do I connect to your session?
Yeah, you guys have to
go
invite
over.
us. What's the link? Can you send the link, please?
It's in chat.
It's in chat.
Oh, it's in the chat. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's a bad
So
thing
you can
about-
see if I type ls and if I hit enter, you only see one line. That's weird. All right, but at least you can see what I'm typing. So I'm just gonna reference this because I kind of forgot. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build this Docker file, and I'm tagging it. Cool. Now I'm going to run this. Can you? Man, you can't see all the lines. That kind of stinks.
Does. Maybe you have to. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's mine, but I think it might be. I imagine you have more than 2 lines open in your terminal, right?
Yeah, I can try to share again. I just can't guarantee it'll work.
I mean, if you can refresh. The last time I had a similar problem, but it was like 4 or 5 lines.
Okay, cool. So yeah, in my stream, nice, Andre joined. So you can kind of see we have a lot of lines here, just a lot of arguments. We're just saying that we want to basically map this port to our local port, okay? And we're using that image that we just built, which we called local memcached. And also maybe important to pay attention to is that we're naming this memcached. This will just let us kill it and remove it a little bit later, a bit easier. All right, cool. So that's running. I did something really foolish, and I should have run that in detached mode. But basically, what I'm going to do is I'll share my terminal really quick. So if we go into that memcache folder, right? We have a couple things in here. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the test memcache file. I might not have the dependency.
So this might be me not being familiar with code, but where is the file? Where's the directory structure? Directory list.
Is in your left side. Do you see like
It
Second.
says toolbox.
try to click on the little file thing on the top left.
Oh, Nginx CG.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Edwin app.
It was a last minute request from Edwin.
Folder.
So I'm streaming it right now, but I have a separate terminal open. I'm just running the test memcache function. So what this is going to do is, if we look at it real quick, This is not my code, but what it is doing is connecting to our memcache instance, localhost port 11.211. It's creating some random data, and it's writing that. It's writing that to our memcache cache. God, that sounds kind of scary. It's writing it to our memcache cache. So it's writing like 1,000 or 10,000 lines at random. And so this is basically just going to test out that we kind of started this service and that's working correctly. And then we'll kind of just like move on to trying to distribute this and create a bunch of them and connect it to them.
Go for
Edwin,
it.
just fix the code, man.
What's up?
I know it's typing a comment. I'm just like, just fix it.
Like, wait, everyone's typing a comma? What?
Yeah, a comment on
You see it in memcat in test cluster function? Or it's in test cluster file?
taskcluster.py.
What is this guy doing?
Yeah, buddy, Edwin.
Yeah, buddy.
You forgot your range on max items. And now just copy and paste it into the code.
The magic.
You got it?
Yeah, sorry. The while loop was just like was making me it was driving me crazy. So
It's just a while loop, man. So, whatever. This takes forever, basically. It took like 5 minutes last night when I was trying it out.
I'm still eating my burrito, so
Oh my god, that's like a.
I'm gonna go mute for now.
Eat that burrito.
Let's let's lower that.
Yeah, sounds good. Also, in the meantime, I'm also going to kill this. Oh yeah, and also if you see that, I killed the Docker container, and so that's why this memcache script suddenly broke, which is pretty cool. So let me just restart this thing. Except I'm gonna start it here. I just gotta remove it first.
I'm writing the suit random.
So now we can actually run this test memcache from this terminal directly. Should be a little more straightforward. Matt, is this good to go?
Yep.
Hey guys, just 1 second. Like,
Alright, cool.
I don't know why, but my Visual Studio Code is not synchronized with you guys. I don't have those files open actually.
Open. You have to open them yourselves.
Oh, okay. I thought it would open automatically, like when you.
So no. So if you go to the session details, you can follow someone. You just click on the person. Like right now, I'm gonna follow Edwin. Well, Edwin's not gonna do anything. I'm gonna follow Edwin,
Okay, perfect.
and I can follow him.
All right, thanks, Matt.
Nice.
Yeah.
You running it?
Yeah, I ran it. If you see it in the shell, took 3 seconds to 1,000 things, lines using one node. Our F string is all messed up though. I think maybe you forgot to add an F here.
This is a counter.
Hey, Evan, this is gonna sound stupid, but where exactly is the node?
So the node is the Docker compose. It's the Docker, just the Docker file.
Oh, the whole
or
file.
the Docker container that we built.
Also, the whole file is considered a node.
Yeah, so like the container itself is like a node.
A
Like,
node, okay.
It's an instance of memcache. So I realized that here I was not. So I wasn't sharing the Visual Studio Code stream. I will switch over to it, and I'll run this real quick. So we can all see test memcache.
Holy shit, what is this?
It's just writing a ton of crap. It's writing a ton of random stuff.
What is this?
And in fact, it seems to run really slow, but I think it's just the std out buffer.
Yeah.
Setting. What is this setting stuff?
And actually ends up taking longer.
So that's
Just
the string
recording.
thing, setting
Setting
this
now.
counter value to the string. What it does is it makes a random string, and then assigns it with like
1,000.
key, which is a number.
Ah, see what
Right. So now we have kind of like a cache that's up and running. So I'm gonna kill it for now. We're gonna kill it and remove it.
You can Docker kill and Docker stop.
I have no idea. It's just been working out for me to use kill. So now what I'd like to do is, now that we've kind of like demonstrated that you can start this container and write some values to it, is now we need to go into our Docker Compose file here, and we want to add a memcache service. And we want to basically do the same thing and test that we can map it to one of our local ports and have this thing up and running as well.
Can we commit the 2 lines we already did? Or the 2 files we did?
Yes, Evan. Small increments. Remember.
You want to commit them? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that way we can dash it.
Best
No, it was
practices.
1,000-line PRs that are impossible to verify. Please.
Andre's got some personal growth about that.
Oh, let me do that. Let me do that. At least I know how to do that.
So, what exactly did you guys do?
Lower the
Use a
line
different random seed.
Well, fix the seed.
Can somebody remove the global counter variable? It's not being used.
What file is that? Oh, okay. Count,
I just have one hand. I'm gonna mute again.
Oh my god, you're still eating?
I have a quesadilla after this. I'm hungry. I just came back from a long drive. I'm tired.
Oh my god, you
What
must.
global counter value are you talking about?
There was a
He deleted.
Oh, counter is 0.
You got it?
Alright, kill that guy. Nice. Alright, let's save these files. We really need to turn on autosave.
Yeah, where's this?
The Edwin app is going to be very powerful. It's going to be a true proof of the microservices architecture if you're able to get an app and Edwin app both working.
Are you trying to get both of those apps to connect to the memcache?
Yeah. I think
Uh,
that's the goal, right? That's what we want to do. Maybe not now, but that's what the goal should be, right?
So, I mean, we can do that, but I think that's bad practice. I don't think you should have multiple apps connecting to the same databases.
oh, but isn't that like kind of the point of a distributed cache?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, no. So a distributed cache is going to put your instances in many places, so that if one node goes down, or if you like overload the system, you can still read it.
Yep.
The point of a distributed cache is like high availability of your data, not to like have multiple things connect to it.
What do you mean by high availability of the data?
So if you have one node running at a certain point, you're going to max out the number of requests per minute, right? Whether it's 1,000, a million, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be a max. If you create many nodes, what you can do is you can instead of Instead of vertically scaling by like getting a better machine, you can horizontally scale by getting more machines.
Oh, okay.
So the idea is that if you have a distributed cache or if you have like a partition database, you can have that across different data centers so that different data centers can read efficiently.
Oh, so you balance it out.
Multiple nodes so that you can read fairly consistently.
Gotcha.
All right.
Yeah,
We're gonna figure that out.
yeah, but it's not. Well, I guess it's not technically a distributed cache, but you can use the distributed cache for message brokering between app and Edwin app.
Yes, you can, but I'm saying that I don't think that's good practice. And I can go into detail why, but it's essentially.
So what should we do instead?
I mean, I'm down to do it, just for like as an exercise.
No, but no. I think right now what's worth is let's just make sure the distributed cache works for multiple instances of app, and we'll leave the microservices connection for later.
Okay, cool. 1 sec.
Are you okay there?
Sorry, I dropped my headset. So going to the Docker Compose file, does anyone want to volunteer
I volunteered
to start to write the memcache service?
In the Docker file?
In the Docker Compose file, that's in the root directory of the project.
Docker file.
Oh, service.
Yeah, we can like start by having it down here, memcache, and then crazy.
Wait,
Just
actually,
like the other ones. Yep.
wait. You and Matt are both live streaming.
Yeah. I'm live streaming something else.
Oh yeah.
Is the same stream?
I'm streaming because Matt's terminal sometimes doesn't show everything because of the code share.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know why.
Are there any ports for memcache?
11 to 11.
11,
Yeah, we want to map that.
11211.
11211?
11211.
Yeah, I guess we'll want to give it the same dependencies. I don't know necessarily.
Wait, so memcache is required for what exactly? So not Nginx, I assume, but the apps themselves, right?
Yeah, it's not yet required, but I guess eventually it will be required. So we might as well put that as a dependency.
You put Nginx as a dependency?
Well, memcache can be started at any time. It doesn't depend on anything. The other ones are dependent on.
Yeah, I would say the other ones should be dependent on.
So app and Edwin app?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, I can't spell depends. Find out.
It's still the.
I got you. I don't think you ever committed those changes, by the way.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, man.
So they're added, so I'm just going to commit them. What do you guys want to, what is our commit message for this?
Cleanup tests.
Clean up memcache
Auto-
tests.
I think that's good.
Commit message can be hard at times. Joking.
Does anyone know what the build keyword is? What is that? What does that highlight?
Oh, that's just the folder that the Docker file is in. So in this case, it's memcache.
Okay. Build. Could be directory. Okay, whatever.
Oh, you can highlight it. Configuration options that are applied at build time can be specified either as a string container containing a path to the build context or an object with a path specified under context and optionally Docker file and args. So yeah, if it's a string, it's the folder where everything exists, or you can make it more complicated.
I see. So this assumes that you're running the Docker Compose from a context that understands what Nginx means, just like a simple Nginx.
Well, so there's an Nginx folder. This is
Yeah.
what,
No, but if
Yeah.
you ran this Docker Compose from another context that didn't have the Nginx folders, would still break.
Yes.
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
so generally, I've seen this pattern a lot, especially if you're using Docker Compose, is you have a lot of folders that are your apps, and then you basically start them up. Like each app is started separately.
Yeah. No, all I'm saying is that the context, the build context here is implicit. So if you attempted to move Docker Compose, you would break stuff.
Yeah, it's a mono repo.
You guys are totally correct. The other reason that we're using folders is just to kind of basically like DIY, so we can demonstrate how we have like a Docker file for each one of these services, as opposed to just pulling Docker images from Docker Hub, which is a little less explicit. It might just be hard to follow.
All right.
All right, cool.
Close up.
So we got a thing.
Can I write some more things? No, I can't.
So cool. Give me 1 sec. I'm gonna switch to like sharing my whole screen. So I just need to change the.
Using Mac? Evan.
Having a Mac hookup to a monitor.
Yeah, you can download.
So just the thing is that
Spectacular.
my monitor.
Mustafa's here. Hi, Mustafa.
Oh, hey, Mustafa. My Mac is, or my monitor is an ultra wide, so I'm just switching to 1080p so that I can share the whole screen and it doesn't look ridiculous.
Oh, I see. You have those curved one, right?
How's it going?
Yeah, I do actually have a curved one. Hey, Mustafa.
Hey, Mustafa.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Good.
Hope I can watch the YouTube feeds so I can understand what you guys doing.
If you want to join, you can join our programming environment by doing it through VS Code.
Oh, perfect. Wow.
Hey,
Yeah.
Evan. I'm gonna actually.
Yeah.
I'm gonna text you something.
Okay.
I'm here too, but
Um,
I'm moving along because Evan told me that we weren't going to actually be implementing stuff. We were just going to be like doing some configuration stuff today. So that's why I wasn't following along.
When did you show up, Lee?
Dang it, Lee.
What did I do?
No, when you? I didn't see you come in.
He just came in.
Oh, he just came in. Okay. No, because I texted him earlier. That's why.
Yeah, I saw your text. That's why I came. I just saw it.
Thank you very much. I'm so honored.
Yeah, we're not actually implementing the library. We're just using the library, which is fine for now. We can always look at the source code.
Yeah, I'm not objecting. Anyway, go on.
So I'm sharing my terminal on one side, VS Code on the other. So basically, we're just gonna try to build this thing real quick with 2 apps and also memcache running. And we should still be able to run the same test memcache script, which I'll run down here as well. So let me try to just get this thing up and running. Code. Service app depends on service memcache, which is undefined. So we just gotta change that.
Yeah, Evan, can I have access to your terminal?
No. So you can see up top, there's a bunch of stuff running. Nginx, no. Sorry, Edwin. Not gonna let you right into my terminal. I trust you though.
I'm only gonna delete your entire operating system with one command.
Right. So our test memcache script should still work, and it looks like it does still work, which is pretty awesome. And it looks like the changes that Matt made worked as well, which is really cool. So now we have another node running in our Docker Compose app. We are writing things to this cache with our helper script. And so now what we kind of want to do is try to scale that thing. And so I guess this is where kind of like the brainstorming comes in. In terms of scaling this, what we can do is we can either set up 3 distinct memcache services that each have a distinct port that we'll map to. Or we could try to figure out how to scale the individual memcache service and give that 3 distinct ports by routing it through our Nginx configuration. So that actually sounds pretty hard. Kind of up to you guys which one of these that we want to do. I guess like give an example is if we wanted to hard code 3 instances of memcache, we could just do something like memcache 2, and then we'll map a new port to the existing 11.2.11 port, and our exposed port would be like 11.2.12 or something, and then we can connect to this one separately. In terms of making this distributed, though, it's kind of up to us where to take the next step. So definitely appreciate everyone's input on that. In terms of kind of making this a distributed app. What do you think?
So I actually hadn't thought of using Nginx, but I think that's interesting. I think the one thing is that set commands are going to have to be piped to all of them, and then get commands are really the ones that are distributed.
Right. Yeah, I guess I'm just kind of thinking pretty hard about how we're gonna do this, because this one is kind of the easy way out. Like, this is pretty easy if we just make 3 separate memcache services or memcache nodes, and then we could tell each one of our apps to connect to that. I guess there's no guarantee. I don't know, we could do a quick Google.
I like watching Evan Google. It's very therapeutic.
Is it?
Hey, some people pay for that boot camp experience.
Oh man, my favorite was how you would tell poor students to Google so much that they would just start to get mad at you.
What? When did you do that for a week before we gave up on them? What?
It became like a meme because you'd be like, "Oh, Google it," which is like a legitimate recommendation because all answers can be found on the web. But it would actually make students angry.
You just ended up telling them the answer. No one stuck to telling them to Google it. We would be like, Google it.
All right.
Okay, I'll just ask another TA and be annoyed with the previous one.
Yeah. So this guy on Stack Overflow says that a memcache cluster isn't really a cluster. Each memcache instance is independent and isolated. It's up to the client to handle the sharding and route the instance it wants for reads and writes.
Correct.
If you want a cache system that does cluster and replicate, consider Redis. If you want to turn your Docker Compose configuration into a cluster, use Docker Swarm. Interesting.
Docker Swarm.
So, should we switch to Redis?
No, well, that's the whole point of like having them each, be an individual instance and just having them communicate with each other. That's the point of distributed, right? That makes it. That's what makes it scalable.
Right. Is Docker Swarm even still
A thing?
supported?
Yeah, I think so.
No, Docker Swarm is official by Docker. It's just a your Kubernetes. But why do we? Here's the thing. Why do we need to replicate the services of Memcache? Why can't we just add the 3 ports to the single Memcache container image, and then we just scale it up by we would have 3 instances of Memcache, right?
Are you saying to do what I was doing before, which is to create 3 separate Memcache instances?
No. Have the single Memcache image, right? But just put the 3 ports in it.
Within?
So Memcache,
Can you
like
do
the
that?
service, only has 1 port, which is 11 to 11.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like a single container exposing that single port. So even if we were to, it doesn't make any sense to create multiple ports there. You know what I'm saying? It's still its own service.
What is Memcache? Is that the thing you're using that's supposed to provide distributed caching or whatever?
Yeah, it's just it's similar to Redis. It's just a cache service.
Evan, just look at the link. Then you just modify the Docker file to run and expose more than just a single port. We just have to modify the code to expose more than 1 port. But we would have a single Memcache image.
With multiple ports?
Yes.
What's the benefit of that?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Well, I thought the whole discussion was we wanted to have different ports for Memcache, right? We could just have a single image.
But not for
But
the
these
sake
are
of
all
running,
writing to
right?
the same cache, is what I'm saying. What's the point of having separate ports if they're all just writing to the same cache?
Well, let me try to see if there's a way of having different. Essentially, you would have the same container type, but you would have different containers depending on the port.
I think but that's exactly what's going on here. So if we were to add a Memcache 3,
But that's obviously not scalable, right? You can't just.
I mean, yeah, exactly. We're
Yeah,
hard
so-
code scaling things, but at that point,
Yeah.
I think you need something that auto scales for you.
Which is
We need to do Docker Swarm or Kubernetes at that point.
no. That's what they mean by Docker Swarm being a cluster is this entire thing would essentially be treated as a cluster. But you could have multiple, for example, you could have multiple instances of app and Edwin app, right? Without adding app 1 or app 2 or Edwin app 1, Edwin app 2. So I'm saying we could do the same thing with Memcache.
Right, where we use that scale argument,
Yeah,
and we would just say Memcache is equal
Yeah.
to, or something we're doing that app.
exactly. And if you wanted to play with more ports, all you have to do is just follow the link and just add more ports to the Docker Compose or somewhere in Docker. So that's my point. There's no need to hard
So,
code.
but the thing is, our app is scaling, but that's represented in our Nginx configuration file as something that's hard-coded. It's actually hard-coded in the Nginx file. So if I were to scale our app past 2, or Edwin app past 2, it would actually break because Nginx isn't set up to dynamically allocate or route that traffic.
Yeah, we need to find a way to allow the Docker autoscale within a threshold, of course, because it obviously can't we shouldn't allow it to autoscale indefinitely. But my point is, we should have an automated. We should try to look for an automated solution instead of hard coding either in the Docker Compose or in the Nginx config. Just as many of the actual clone services as possible. But that's not. It's just not a very workable solution. And AWS autoscale, then we should try to find a way to autoscale within a threshold.
Cool.
Because the whole thing is like, maybe we actually do need to use like Docker Swarm or Kubernetes, because the whole point is to allow it to dynamically detect when to scale, right? Like we can't just be modifying the config files and just adding more containers. That's just not the way things are done.
Yeah. So yeah, that's exactly it. I was kind of waiting for us to get to this point. I wrote yesterday, around the middle of the day, I said, once the Docker Compose thing that we like, we'll migrate that to Kubernetes, which will allow us, I guess, to auto-scale things.
So let's.
Docker Compose is very much like a development thing. Like, I don't think we can accomplish the kind of auto-scaling that we're looking to with this.
Definitely. Yeah. So let's actually, I think, instead of like wasting time on like adding these three memcache, these three memcache, 3 hard coded, and then it's linking back to 3 hard coded instances of app and 3 hard coded instances of Edwin app. Let's actually do like what industry does, and let's actually try to port this either to Docker Swarm or Kubernetes. Let's just do Kubernetes, since I think we don't have as much experience as that.
Yeah, we could just YOLO it and try to do Kubernetes right now. I don't actually know how to set it up.
Yeah.
Evan,
Yeah.
no one ever needs you to set all this stuff up in advance. YOLO is fine.
Yeah.
An experience.
Yeah, Evan. Evan, you should have delegated to me.
We're getting
Lee's encouraging us to YOLO it.
To what?
Lee wants things to happen.
No, this is even the project I want to work on right now. So I'm just in favor of YOLO in general.
let's just go out to the club and go YOLO.
Oh my
No,
god.
no. Coding, Edwin.
All right, so yeah, we can do Kubernetes in now, or we can try to finish it next week. That's fine. I'm up for either. I have to finish this case.
Yeah. I feel like we can give it at least another half hour. So
if we push it off till next week, what you're saying is, Evan, go do this whole thing on your own and then present it to us next week.
No, that's
very organized.
That's disrupt the purpose.
Well, that's a possibility if you don't mind, Evan. But
come on, guys.
We can also follow through a Kubernetes tutorial now that we have the Docker Compose set up. So let's actually follow through a Kubernetes tutorial now, if we want.
Right. So, all right, I'm just going to add this Docker file, and then I want to create a new branch off of this.
Evan, are you there?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you.
Yeah, I'm just committing the code, and then I keep opening this wrong window. Very annoying. I just want to go to the PR, merge it, and then we'll create a new branch. Merge the pull request. And ladies and gentlemen, this is how you merge a pull request. If you haven't done that yet. Awesome. All right, let's update this guy.
Oh.
So what is this? Kubernetes. Let's not put my name. Let's just say Coding Guild. Kubernetes migration. All right.
There you go.
So Then we got a Kubernetes migration. Is anyone still in here? Cool. So I guess I'm just gonna pull up a Kubernetes getting started.
Let me.
Or maybe migrating Docker Compose to Kubernetes.
Yep.
That sounds like a fun thing.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Compose with a K.
It's like Mortal Kombat.
Wow, that's an old one.
Fatality.
You win.
You.
So many. Fatality.
I don't know if my stream is still running. It is.
But I prefer Street Fighter.
Before you begin, you need to have a Kubernetes cluster. Alright. And the kubectl command line tool must be configured to communicate with your cluster. If you do not already have a cluster, you can create one using Minikube,
Oh, Minikubes. That's right. Remember that one.
or you can use some Kubernetes playground.
Minikubes.
So on Kubernetes.
I agree with the previous discussion. We should all play Street Fighter or something together.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
How many of us have Switch? We can play Super Smash Brothers.
Oh, I don't have Switch, but I love Smash. If anybody has N60, I have N64, so if anybody has a TV, I can bring it somewhere.
I was thinking remotely. I wasn't thinking us all going to someone's apartment due to like quarantine and rolling together.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if you guys want to watch me do all this, but I will be doing it.
Okay,
You have to
so
talk out loud. So what are you setting color to? Grep? Why are you
I'm not grabbing anything. Virtualization supported on Mac OS. Run the following command in your terminal.
Yeah, you're looking for the color mock peak CPU feature VMX. What is this?
So it's definitely there, and then VMX is also there. If you see VMX in the output, yes. Great. I would hope so. Install kubectl. Yes, brew, thank you. Brew install
Brew is
minikube.
awesome. I think you gotta do brew services star or something, right? After you install it.
No, not for installing.
No, after when you finish installing. Every time you run it, like MongoDB, for example.
I think it depends on the service. I don't know. So now we're gonna wait for Homebrew to do its jolly thing. It's awesome.
Wow, I hope your internet is fast enough. Yeah, the update
Yeah,
takes
good
a
thing
while.
he's not video sharing with anyone, slowing down his internet.
Yeah. Thankfully. I guess I should also install kubectl, whatever that is.
It's pronounced kubectl.
Just that.
No, it's not. Are you kidding me?
I've generally heard it.
Yeah, it's kubectl.
No, he just wants to cuddle.
Well, it's kubectl.
You just want to cuddle.
I don't want to cuddle with Evan. He's too skinny to cuddle with.
I can't tell if you're serious or not.
Oh, that's gross.
I don't want to
Cuddle?
cuddle with you.
The lead DevOps engineer at my company calls it pretty well informed.
He calls it cube cuddle?
Yeah, why do you assume I'm joking with everything I say? I'm always serious.
It sounds absurd, dude. I don't know.
It's just because it's trying to be like short for like kube controller.
No, it's for short for cuddle.
No, you don't pronounce the cuddle. It's pronounced cuddle.
Oh man. Well, also, I hope this isn't a fail of a lesson for you guys. Because we didn't really build a scalable application.
No, with Kubernetes, we're gonna see if it's going to be scalable with the magic of Kubernetes.
The magic
So,
of
like,
Kubernetes.
using Kubernetes, like building a scalable app using Kubernetes, like if we were to try to build a scalable app without Kubernetes or Docker Swarm, that would be stupid. Like like we're not trying
Right,
to
I just thought we would end up migrating like way later.
Well, now is the time. When you get to hard coding each container instance, it's time to use Kubernetes.
Yeah, it's kind of hard because all of these things are contrived, right? Like normally you have a business that needs auto scaling. You'd be like, oh, we have like surges and things. We can't just deploy 2 containers or whatever. We don't have that.
Mhm.
We have
Matt, whenever you're like writing a lot of very hacky code to do like special casing for something that could be easily generalized, like, isn't that a sign? Like, as a developer, you're like, God, I want to generalize this right now.
You guys have to
yeah,
go.
but, like you don't need an Nginx container to just
See you, Andre.
do most apps.
Bye.
Bye, Andrew.
Like you could deploy an app in Heroku like very easily, very quickly, and no Nginx containers, no multiple things, right?
Oh yeah, but like also your app wouldn't have like all of this 3 hard-coded port crap that Evan was doing.
Yeah, but it's only because we wanted to like play around with Nginx, right? So, I mean, like, I don't know. It seems like there's like a bunch of different ways of going about it. Like a bunch of different ways that people are bringing up things to do, and some of it is like, let's recreate the wheel and let's go through the details. Like that's the instance of like, let's rebuild Kubernetes or let's do that. That's like
I never suggested rebuilding Kubernetes. I'm suggesting rebuild all the other wheels.
yeah, but rebuilding a distributed cache is somewhat like that. Like,
Yeah, I totally agree. I only suggested that not because it's meaningful, but because a lot of people are getting that. That's like a new, like being able to like thoroughly understand a distributed system and talk about all these things is like a new hot interview thing. That's the only reason I like to do that.
yeah, I mean, I think it like so that's one end, right? Like it's like we make something super contrived and we're like, okay, let's just like find out how we do it. And the other end is like we find like something somewhat one that one of us may have wanted to do either for work or for some other side project, and we actually implement that, right? And that's less contrived because we actually have real world examples and someone can actually drive out like a lot of decision making on that, being like, no, this is actually what we need. This like rabbit hole that we want to go down is not the actual ask.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
So I mean, honestly, like as long as we have a direction, I don't really care. But I feel like we're kind of swerving in between a bunch of them, and so
Yeah.
Evans decided to do Kubernetes. Like fuck it, like all right, let's learn Kubernetes. Like I think that's a great thing to learn, and while no one else has a better thing to like be the priority, let's be doing that.
Yeah. I mean, that's the reason why I think now's a good time to go to Kubernetes because right now we're trying to hack around existing software like Docker and Nginx and trying to make it scalable. Whereas, I mean, Kubernetes and Docker Swarm have already solved this particular problem. So, and we're trying to learn Kubernetes. So now I think is the time to use Kubernetes, if that makes sense, and to learn it.
Yeah, done.
And
Downloading it, Evan.
And the goal of we can still make an AWS clone because I'm sure AWS uses containers and uses Kubernetes in some way, in some form or fashion. So we can still the objective of AWS clone is still at play.
Yeah, but I think we'd be implementing lower level stuff, right? Like we wouldn't be writing the Kubernetes documents. We'd be writing the framework that reads Kubernetes documents and does all of those things.
Yeah. I think that's something we definitely can still do. We can actually make a very contrived AWS clone, but something that would use like open source software, and that's something that we should try doing that.
You know what I want to do? And I actually have this as an ask for one in my personal project, making a decorator that is a cache decorator. But instead of caching it locally, which is what I currently have in my system, making it cache to a database.
Like the cached property of like Django, for instance.
I don't know Django too well, but like yeah, Func Tools has a decorator, the memcache has a decorator for caching on functions, and instead of caching locally, just write to a database, and then read from that database next time it's called.
But so like you'd be writing to like tables in a database, right? And you would be calling it cached, right? And you would have rules that govern the cache, right? But isn't that just basically like writing to a database, like, but just with additional rules to make it more of a cache?
Yeah, I mean, my position is still that a database is cached, but it's how you do it, right? So instead of writing, oh, I want this key to be this value, that is derived from all like the function notation, right? So the name of the function, the arguments going into the function all form the cache key, and then the object that is on that cache key is the object that's returned. The same thing as that. This is the same thing as.
Yeah, I don't think anyone disagrees that a database is a cache. I think there's just like a very specific, like, new algorithmic like idea that handles like really large distributed databases. But yeah, and that, I mean, like I assume Edwin also agrees. Like we agree that a database and a cache, like, to some extent mean the same thing, right?
So, but so then at that point, I think like because I've been asked this in interview questions. Then it goes like, okay, what are you going to do if you want to like scale it horizontally? Okay, you're going to partition it. Then it goes down to like the actual details of the partition, which is like what partition you would pick, which is oftentimes like the state or username or whatever. But at that point, if we're trying to do that, like we actually need a good example of what the question is, right? We can't just make up data to like figure out what to partition on, right? Because all our like conclusions are going to be literally decided when we're already figuring out, when we're already like seeding the table.
Yeah, I think there's like the thing is like, yeah, it means a lot of different things, right? A cache. Like a cache could exist at the database layer, but it can also exist in the application layer, right? It would just be saved in memory of the application instance, of the node instance. So it's like when people say cache, it could mean like a lot of different things. I could make a dictionary and I could call it a cache, right? And it would not be wrong, right? Does that make sense? And then I could also have a part of my database labeled cache, and that would also be theoretically a cache too, right? So it's like, I think the problem is that everybody has like multiple. There's multiple definitions of what a cache is, so it's hard to.
Well, so I don't think it's multiple definitions. I think a cache is not one defined by storing the data. It's defined by how you're using the data, right? So caches are oftentimes temporary. They're oftentimes pre-computed value, and all of these things are relevant, right? And whether or not you do it locally or whether you do it on in a database doesn't matter. It's how you're using it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the definition of the cache. But in terms of the implementation, it seems like there's I mean, the devil is really in the details, right? And it does matter if you're trying to just use it in memory at the application layer, or you're actually storing it in the database layer. I do think there's a crucial distinction that needs to be made. Are you scaling up the actual database instances, or are you scaling up the application containers? And that does make a difference.
So, also, like, I hope YouTube recognize that.
What? I don't have compose.
You don't know compose?
No, it's this new compose. Like, I literally just installed this. Did I not just install this?
Lee, you were gonna say something?
I think because you're.
Mo, what's up?
Stop.
Oh, Mo's here. I'll say my.
That was Mo here?
Mo's gone. Okay. Yeah. So Mo left. Oh yay!
Sorry, guys.
Am I unmuted? Am I unmuted?
No, you're fine. We can hear you.
Hey, we hear you.
Oh my gosh, do you know what happened to me today? Evan, you know that thing you were helping with me with? You know I
Yeah.
fixed it. And you know what the issue was? It was so embarrassing. Yes.
Was it the file? Was it the file like directory?
No, I spelled it wrong. There was an extra S. For 3 days, I didn't notice.
Mo.
And then some dev ops person helped me, and they
Dude.
were like, "You didn't even spell it right." And I was like, "Aw, fuck." It's all working now, though.
No. Well, at least you kind of knew what you were doing. That's crazy.
Imagine if I was literate.
Wait, what did you miss?
I've done similar shit, man. It happens.
Mo, what did you misspell?
Hi, MySQL.
Are you serious?
So for 3 days, I'm like, why won't this one library import? It was because there was an extra S. I don't know how I didn't notice. It was correct in my local file, so I didn't look, you know.
Well, they don't have
Mo.
they don't have good like source control in AWS, right? Like on the GUI, right? On the website GUI.
Yeah, I copy and pasted, and I guess I was like messing around with it. So at some point, I retyped it up, and then I just missed that.
That's what happens when you code on your phone.
Yeah, that's true. I do that sometimes. Sometimes I write stuff in like a Google Doc, and I'm like, okay.
Man, Mo
too
should
lazy
give
to look it up.
the
And then I
tutorial
write it
how
up
like
later.
live on a cell phone. Like you
Yeah.
do absolutely everything on a cell phone.
I wanted to do what?
What?
What words are you guys putting in my mouth? I wanted to do what?
Cuddle. Sorry.
No, I said I don't want to cuddle with Evan.
Wait, so does anyone know what I do with this compose file? That's really silly. I feel like I need to put this in my binaries or something.
What?
Uh,
We haven't been paying attention.
it's
Yeah,
okay.
sorry, Evan. I was doing my own thing.
I'm just gonna brew install it.
Evan, we actually use this thing that makes your Docker for you. Because none of the
It's like
scientist
a
stuff
web app.
say. It's like, I think it's called CodeOcean.
Nice. Yeah, we started using this thing, Great Expectations, at work for like data quality, and the editor is not good. And I was thinking about trying to build like a web thing around it, but I don't know.
If you tell me the libraries, I can go get your Docker Compose file.
I mean, we have a Docker Compose file. We're trying to move it to Kubernetes.
Oh, that sounds like gross. Have fun.
It's not what Edwin thinks.
No, it's a typical, right? Isn't this like typical workflow, migrating Docker Compose to Kubernetes?
I don't really know because my team does not use Kubernetes yet, but we would like to. So this is a good step for me, actually.
Yeah, I need to get better at using Kubernetes. My team uses Kubernetes.
Cuddle.
They use like kube cuddle to inspect my jobs to figure out what went wrong, and I'm like a baby.
Oh, that's a good opportunity for you to start using Kubernetes.
Yeah, I just need Evan to have a like larger font size so I can read what he's doing better.
No, it's because he's like sharing
why
on
didn't you
this.
say something?
Yeah. Evan, can
like,
can you actually maximize the window? It's like
You have people heckling you constantly.
if it's possible, obviously.
Or just,
All right, we have compose finally.
Yeah.
All right. So now what do I need to do? So, all right. So I copied this Docker Compose file from them just so we can test this thing out. So some Docker Compose file, version 2 has a couple services, 2 Redis instances, I guess a master and like a worker node, and then there's some front end thing. I don't actually know what this is doing, but it is definitely communicating with the Redis instances. And then I'm not really sure what this this label does, but there's some kind of load balancing in between, which is interesting.
Yeah, I read that Kubernetes comes with its own load balancer, so it doesn't. You don't need to use Nginx.
There are services you just plug in. So it's a bunch. It's like a bunch of plugins you can just put in front of things.
Also, this Minikube thing has been downloading forever, so I don't know if that will ever finish. Just between streaming and
Well, what's your internet speed
my
now?
crappy Spectrum internet. What's up?
What's your internet speed now? Let's check.
I pay for the cheapest tier, which is like 200 megabits a second.
No, that's fast. That's like the medium one. I just got that.
That
one.
was
It's
that was
too-
the lowest tier I could buy, so I don't know.
Oh, really? Wow. That's actually
Yeah.
the second tier for what they offer.
Don't you like live off internet? I always went like that's the most important utility.
No, life and happiness and health are the most important details. Sorry.
Yeah, but like the only thing that requires fast internet is like gaming, and I initially didn't plan on gaming that much.
All right, so while we wait, just turn on the PC and let's see your Steam account.
Just trying to figure out what takes so long. Yeah, all right. I'm not on my PC though. So what do we compose up? We can do enter a username. What? I have to sneeze.
Last year.
What?
That was a strong ass sneeze.
That next.
Just type in your GitHub username. That should be fine.
Yeah, I don't know what username this is. What?
No, just type in your GitHub username. It doesn't. I don't think it matters.
And then there's a password.
Admin.
Admin 123. Do you think? I don't know. I just entered an empty password. Do you think we're good? I can't tell.
Oh no, you should have at least entered like a test password. Empty passwords sometimes have some weird stuff happen.
Just like I love
Connection-
plugging leak.
Okay, so this is happening because Minikube hasn't freaking downloaded yet,
Oh, got it.
and so I can't start a Minikube instance. Yeah. So, all right. Give me a minute. I can like pause streaming for a minute, so maybe it'll go faster.
Yep.
I'm also gonna make a little more tea. Cool.
Mangia che ti
Wait,
fa
were those your
bene.
dogs? Wait.
Sorry, Mom? You say something?
Yeah, I want to know if the dogs were Lee's.
They're probably mine.
Oh. Can I pet the dogs?
Virtually?
In general?
I mean, if you ever see them, if you come hiking,
yeah.
they come hiking.
I think we all need a break from me. So.
Yeah.
Well, just make sure you eat and sleep, and you'll be fine.
That's true. She has to walk around Central Park twice before going to hiking, before any more hiking. I think Central Park is a big enough hike.
Wow.
I'm not
Dude,
kidding.
Central Park will wear you out. It's huge.
Okay,
I'm
Mo,
not
starting
kidding.
tomorrow, we're gonna jog, okay? At 7 in the morning.
No, 4:30 a.m.
Yeah, you guys should skateboard with me. Learn
Yes,
to skateboard
that's what I was
with me.
gonna tell you. I haven't skateboard. Let's skateboard.
Dude, I can ollie already. Come on, get on my
I
level.
thought you got a longboard. How do you ollie with a longboard?
No, I got a regular skateboard.
Oh, oh, nice. Let's go to the
Why?
skate park.
Because I want to learn a fucking kickflip. Duh.
Just
Are you like a 15? Are you like a 14, 15-year-old male?
Yeah, basically, I'm reliving my youth.
Oh, actually, I have to assemble my electric skateboard.
I don't think you can kickflip an electric skateboard.
No, you
or
can't.
Should you?
You can, well, you can't. It's too heavy.
You shouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah,
So Cubicle is now configured to use.
I am going to send you a picture.
Did you get Minikube status working?
I'm unable to get it. So the last message I have is Cube Cuddle is now configured to use Minikube. So if I do Cube Cuddle version, that's okay.
You're not sharing?
Oh, sorry, I'll reshare. I forgot.
Oh. You can run Cube Cuddle commands through Minikube. Interesting.
No. That's what you have to do because Minikube is basically a node running inside a virtual machine, and that's Kubernetes, and you have to run everything inside the virtual machine.
I feel like I've connected to it through Cube Cuddle.
Well, the reason why we need Minikube is because they're trying to run Kubernetes as a machine inside the as a node inside the virtual machine. The Cube Cuddle is just the command line, the command tool. It's not Cuddle; it's a command tool.
Is a CLI.
Oh, that's Cube Cuddle.
CLI.
So I started Minikube, but Compose Up is not working out for me. So maybe I need to maybe I'll just convert these. Compose, convert.
No, I have these.
And then Cube Cuddle apply. Cube file? I don't know.
Do you have a Kubernetes file on this?
Oh, I need to list all of these? Are you kidding me? Oh my god. What the
Beep.
T.
Did you order tea? Bubble tea.
All right, so cube CTO, apply F on the thing. Okay, so that's working. Minikube service front
Run.
end. Ah,
Oh, you misspelled it, I think. Oh no.
what does that mean? Because you're using Docker driver on Darwin, the terminal needs to be open to run it. Doesn't make any sense to me, okay.
What's wrong with my computer? Holy shoot, 22%. Wow.
Evan, what are you trying to deploy? The stateless application using a deployment?
I just did the one that was in the tutorial, this YAML file here.
It's where is it? Install tools and then what? Your pod.
Wait,
Okay.
I'm not totally sure what your question is.
Like how do you get to that file? Translate compose?
Did you do the compose thing and make those files yet?
Okay, yeah. Oh, use compose. Oh, this is what compose is.
Yeah, so if you run compose convert, it'll spit out a bunch of YAML files, and then you need to run it from there.
Okay.
Is the tutorial not running?
I get this error page when I just try to inspect that particular service, the front end. It says, because you're using a Docker driver on Darwin, I'm not sure what Darwin is, the terminal needs to be open to run it.
Darwin
You got a feedback loop.
is your Mac OS
Tom, you're
version.
echoing.
No, it can't be me because
What? No, it's not. What?
Tom, I see you highlighting. Like your name pops up. It's totally
No, it's not. It's impossible. I don't have nothing on like that is gonna create that. Ooh. Okay,
I don't
mean
think there's a
this.
Mac OS version Darwin though.
It is. There is, but it's like an older version.
But
Let me-
I don't think my Mac is that out of date. I haven't wanted to upgrade to Catalina because I don't want to deal with Z Shell, but
No, it's easy to change the config to back to bash. Yeah, I think there's. Well, no, I'm talking about the tutorial. Is like it. Like I saw Darwin mentioned in the Mac OS. You copied and pasted the command that mentioned Darwin.
do I need to have some virtual machine driver?
I think so, right? Hey Edwin, remember on Taxi last year?
Can you slack out the tutorial link? I'll try doing it in my Mac.
Are you talking to me or Evan?
Totally. You're gonna have to install a bunch of stuff though. That's what took the most time.
Yeah. And this quesadilla is not sitting well in my stomach.
Oh, God.
Oh boy, dude.
Oh my God, this could be like a.
I think you have the right idea. Make it. Don't buy it. Just make it homemade.
That's Jackie Ma, man.
Yeah, quesadillas aren't cheap either. Like I definitely feel like they overcharge for quesadillas.
How much you pay for a quesadilla?
Yeah. It's just those stores.
Oh, even worse.
Yo, $7 here,
I've been
man.
eating like those toasts like every other day, like for the past few months. But it's just like, just sustenance.
I love those Toros. Their spicy sauce is just the best.
There we go.
The orange one.
The orange. That's the
I like
that's
Chipotle
the
better.
medium. That's the medium spiciness, right? Or is that the hot one?
No. Well, the orange one is the only one that's not all spicy, and it's like 100 times as spicy as the other one.
Oh. Yeah. So Evan,
It's just delicious. It's not like spicy and bad tasting. It's just delicious.
So wait, I think I was ignoring an earlier Minikube error that might describe this. I'm running Minikube start again. It says Minikube on Darwin 10.14.6. So, alright, what is that? Let's find out what that is.
yeah. So in the tutorial, when you install Compose, it just calls it Darwin for the Mac OS version. So it just has trouble running that Minikube installation for some reason.
So Darwin is an open source Unix-like operating system first released by Apple Inc. Wow, it really is the operating system in 2000.
Oh my God, my computer is super
Darwin
slow.
forms the core set of components upon which Mac OS, iOS, all of them are based. Wow, that's awesome. It is POSIX based, but has never by itself been certified as compatible with any version. Starting with Leopard, macOS has been certified as compatible with the single Unix specification version 3. So Mac is built on top of an open source Unix-like operating system.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. Today I learned. Alright, so this is what this says. kubectl is possibly an incompatible version with my current Kubernetes version.
There's always some config thing.
So let's see.
What is mini? You can also use minikube kubectl -- get pods to invoke a matching version.
That's what it seems like.
What's that?
I'm trying to upgrade the version of kubectl since it doesn't seem to be compatible with Minikube right now. So it says I have 1 point cube. Okay, so now it looks like I might have both. Wait, but it says. Okay, now I have like 2 versions of this installed. I'm kind of confused.
What all computer start from scratch?
Literally.
Lee, what are you watching?
He's playing a game probably.
What? Oh, my bad.
You know, it's actually scary. We're playing.
You got
playing-
quad. Lee.
Lee, you want?
What?
Yeah, I think
Something else.
I think the stateless app is going to be easier.
Wait, man, you're looking at the in the tutorials.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah, so yeah, man, you're looking at the stateless app tutorials in Kubernetes. I'm taking a look at. I'm reading through them. They don't exactly, they assume you have Minikube installed and everything works in that at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just have to go through install tools, and then you're done.
Yeah.
So this guy says we should link this shit.
So now, what is our actual app? Memcache. Okay, can I get Memcache deployed? You guys ready to see this?
Yeah.
Fucking try it.
Oh my god, kubectl works now. I can't believe it.
It's a VIP app where you can talk to Evan live.
What does that even mean?
We're trying to monetize
It's
it.
like an OnlyFans page, but only.
Oh shit, the service works.
Nice.
The tutorial lives. Test.
Seems like it's working. What was the issue?
It looked like I needed to symlink. Where is it? I needed to symlink Homebrew with the Kubernetes CLI. Maybe they were installed separately. I think this was installed alongside Minikube, And so Brew didn't know it existed, and then I installed other stuff with Homebrew, and I don't know. That's what I'm imagining happened in my head. Okay, so now how do we write scalable applications?
I'm trying
How
to
do
build
we
it.
take their Docker Compose didn't look that different from ours, right? Is this in here?
Error pulling image.
So like if we check this out, first of all, what's in these Docker? These like YAML files.
Seems like a lot of stuff.
Looks pretty simple though. Each thing gets a port, so I guess maybe these ports are dynamically allocated. What was the port in the Docker Compose? No, same port.
What do you wonder?
So
Like, I guess, how do the ports and stuff get dynamically generated and allocated?
No,
Kubernetes.
no,
Do they even?
No, they're hard coded. It's hard coded.
Yeah, the ports have to be hard coded, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the connection is between the different. It's not just between ports; it's between the different machines.
Like you have to specify the port number, but they just route all the traffic through the port to them, and then they create the multiple instances for you. But the ports have to be specified. They just route all the traffic through the port.
Alright, if you're wondering what developers do, it's spend 90% of your time Googling something you don't know, I guess. You need to translate your Compose service definitions to Kubernetes objects. This will allow you to scale your application with resiliency. Compose speeds that up. Moves Compose to container orchestrators like Kubernetes. So if we were to follow this tutorial, you'll have a Node.js application with a MongoDB database running on a Kubernetes cluster. So
That's cool.
is that the reliability that we're looking for? Like a single MongoDB database running on a Kubernetes cluster? Like what does that even mean? What is a Kubernetes cluster? Okay. First principles. Kubernetes cluster.
No, with the Redis master and slave, that is basically a distributed cache. Because the reason why you need the master is because you just need a replica, and that's where the worker, the slave, comes in. That's the replica in order for the cache to not lose data.
Oh, it's just writing to it?
Yeah, it's just replicating the master.
Like periodically?
Yeah. So that's why you need that's why it comes in a pair, because the cache it can't lose the data, so it just copies to the replica. It writes to the replica. But yeah, this is exactly equivalent to what we did. Like in terms of the meme cache, it's just using Redis instead of the meme cache.
Right, but this one has two, so it's replicating.
Yeah. So that's why it's more robust in that sense. And it's using Redis, which is tailor made for this cache kind of application.
Yeah, apparently. So do you think?
So this is it. This is like basically what we want to get. The tutorial has it. And with Kubernetes, you can
it's so easy now. I'm confused.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if we wanted to recreate from scratch, it would be like that would be a festival. But now it's just this is how one would do to spin up their own applications is like essentially following this Docker Compose and YAML files and Kubernetes. Yeah. The problem is that like unless you're making an app from scratch, then of course you execute something like this. But we're always dealing with legacy applications that does not have this kind of fancy, this nice best practices DevOps. So a lot of the problem is porting the old legacy applications to something like this, and that takes like quite a while.
Gotcha.
I'm not sure if all local images have going that working.
Have you updated Docker recently?
So apparently, I looked online. There's a few things about how it always looks. Oh, now I got it. Yeah, you run a command in order to get it.
Oh, sick.
Alright, so I got a one from Memcache.
Oh, yo, Tom, 6 skateboard.
It's just a deck. I just
I'm gonna
noticed
send
that
you
my.
some. I'm gonna send you mine.
Oh my god! I keep talking to myself because I'm muted. Sorry.
But yeah, that's it. Just follow the tutorial, as per usual. Okay, so yeah.
Okay, so a cluster is the foundation of Google's Kubernetes engine. Kubernetes objects that represent your containerized app all run on top of a cluster. So the Kubernetes objects sit on top of the cluster. A cluster consists of at least one cluster master and multiple worker machines called nodes. So each cluster has a cluster master and then worker machines also on that cluster. Kind of like a distributed file system type thing.
Well, just think of it as like, okay, a cluster. You have the Kubernetes cluster, so you have these 3 different types of services: the Redis master, the Redis slave, and the front end application. And now you're able to increase as many containers as you want for each of them.
Well, I want it to auto scale based on demand, really.
Well, that's what they handle it for you. Like when I did the Docker Swarm thing like last year, it was
But
scaling.
do they? This looks like only 2 containers to me.
They will they track all the usages, and depending on your configurations, they will auto scale. Depends on the config.
You have to set up an autoscaler.
Yeah. But they track all the usages and the utilization and all that fun stuff. Now it's time for bed. 4:30 a.m. everybody.
It's not
You
4:30.
haven't actually been waking up that early, right?
I had to wake up 4:30 today because I was driving for like 5 hours today.
I thought the 4:30 thing was the time that you try to go to bed but you don't because
No, it's because of that. Like 2-3 weeks ago, that's why I'm implementing the 4:30 wake up instead of going to 4:30 bedtime because of the weekend gaming sessions.
Did you ever actually go to sleep at 4:30, or did you just stay up all night?
Wow, Edwin,
No.
5 hours driving with you must be a Avenger.
Like, yeah, I had to drive 5 hours this morning, so I had to wake up at like 4:30 this morning.
Were you solo?
Where'd you
Why did
go?
you drive for 5 hours?
New Hampshire.
Why did you go to New Hampshire?
No, I was hiking with some friends.
Did you guys hear about the lady that got eaten by a shark in Maine?
Are you serious?
Yeah, I think it was in like the New York Times.
Sounds like Florida.
Yo, Tom, where is there a skate park?
Are you serious?
Have you been to one? The only one I
Of
know of
course.
is in Astoria.
No. There's like at least 2-3 in Manhattan.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, you gotta go. It's in Chelsea.
Oh, I didn't know about that. Oh, I'll
Yeah, we
go
can
there
go.
at like 4:30. Let's do it.
Yeah, but just make sure you all geared up because I don't wanna see you hurry. No, seriously. I already
only have a helmet.
broke my hand and stuff.
Yeah, you should go. There is the skateboard. Like I run by a lot of the time. It's right next to Chelsea Piers. It's really big too.
That's exactly it.
It overlooks the river too.
Oh.
It's really nice.
Yeah, and there is
What?
another
No, that
one in
existed?
Williamsburg Bridge, like East Village. Actually, Lower East Side. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's a track and field. There's a track in right by the East River at the East Village. Well, Lower East Side / East Village. Yeah, around there. I'm not sure. I didn't see a skate. I don't remember seeing a skate park there, but there's a track there.
Oh, I
And
see.
And like a soccer / baseball field.
Oh, I'm sorry. Where's that again? I don't...
So I don't remember seeing a skate park there, but I think there may be. But there's definitely, I remember a track and there's like a track and field there, and also like a soccer field / a baseball field
But where?
at the like right near the right near the Williamsburg Bridge, like at the East River / Lower
Oh,
East
yes,
Side.
yes. They do have a skate park there. You're right.
Yeah, I don't remember the skate park.
No. I know for a fact there is a skate park there. Hey, Matt.
So,
You don't skateboard?
oh yeah, I used to skate.
Yeah, I can see that. Like that skateboard and code.
I don't know if I'm that reckless anymore.
Yeah. Just geared up, like, you know. No, seriously. Like and
Okay.
and there's ways to fall, so you don't hurt yourself.
Yeah. Come on, let's break some bones.
No, fuck no. Oh,
Do it.
no, it's
Sorry, Tom.
no. I last time I broke my fingers like skateboarding. Not fun.
Dude,
experience.
what? Your fingers?
Yeah, he folded like the like right on the middle finger. He folded all the way to my the top of my hand, like so it was like hanging. Oh god, it was nasty.
Ouch, man.
Yeah, so you gotta be careful.
What did you guys think of today?
I've been loving this much
it's
better.
definitely a
It's
little
much more fun.
misguided. That's my bad.
The myth.
No, but Evan, I think it's all part of it. It's like, you know.
So Evan, if you're watching coding, I think that would be fun and interactive, especially even if you don't have anything prepared. I think the fact that it was just dealing with operating system shit is the only reason why not all of us were 100% focused the whole time.
Right. If we didn't have to install as much stuff to do the Kubernetes jump, it could have been, yeah.
Hey, Evan, I have a propose to do. Like, why don't you like things like that? Like, delegate to like junior people. Like, I would happily do this for you. Like all the prep thing, and that's what I
guess
proposed
so,
to
but
you
I need
before
to
in the
like be
beginning.
able to explain it and stuff.
No, I know, but like like the lag work, I can do it. Like I don't, I don't find it aggravating. You
I think
Yeah, I gotcha.
I think last week went very well, and
Matt, what were you saying?
I think last week went very well, and I think what was really good about it is we were just going through a
Yes.
tutorial. You back, Evan?
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 Oh no,
Alright.
what are we gonna do?
My stuff got messed up. What were we talking about?
We're talking about like this week and how we thought we went. What's up, Lee?
Yeah, I didn't get to hear what you said.
Me or Matt?
Lee, say what you're gonna
Matt, I don't think I heard what you said.
Okay, he's more interested in you, Matt. You go.
say. All right. My thing. So I thought last week's was actually like exceptionally well, and I think the reason it went very well was because we went through a tutorial. And I think what might be good is going through tutorials. Like honestly, if we went through the Minikube tutorial and got it all set up and like all went side by side, I think that could be super helpful. But I think what we tried doing in the beginning, which was essentially coming up with like our own next steps, slowly like fell apart and then led to like the Minikube stuff, which could have actually been me.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Lee, what do you think?
I'm sorry, man. Can you repeat what you said? Like I missed the last part.
Just that, just that tutorials I think can drive a lot more structure around this. But that's not really like I don't necessarily just want to be doing tutorials.
Mm-hmm.
But like comparing this week to last week, I thought last week was super good, and I think I mean this isn't like an addition to anyone, but I thought this week was just kind of like us talking about things more than us like programming things.
Right. And but remember, I think it was yesterday when we were talking to you. Like you were talking about like actually just get a tutorial without the coding, just with the text, and do it from there. Right. It's a bit of a different experience to try to figure out things like just reading it. Hello?
Yeah,
Okay.
I hear you, Tom.
Yeah, it's probably nonsense.
Lee, what was the other thing you were gonna say?
Me?
Lee.
Oh, Lee.
I was just wait, am I mute? Okay. I was just trying to encourage like even if I feel like Evan is a little insecure about not being prepared or whatever. And I think the live coding, even if it doesn't go perfectly like today, I still think it's fun. So that's why I was saying I love the participating in Evan's first OnlyFans page. Just because, like, I don't mind just doing live walkthroughs and stuff, but I do, of course, prefer it to be live walkthroughs and stuff other than, like, operating system consoles, but, like, big fan of just, like, us working towards Evan's OnlyFans.
I mean, maybe the thing that went wrong wasn't that we weren't going tutorial, but that we weren't going through something that everyone can work on, right? Because when we're all in the same VS Code, we can all edit the same things, whereas we can't interact with Evan's command line, so there's nothing we can all help each other with.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with.
Yeah, I could open up my command line. I'll maybe I could try creating a new user or something. I don't know. Just for VS Code.
I would check if you have sudo access. If you don't have sudo access, then I wouldn't be too worried. Or if someone else has sudo access to your thing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you need to enter my password. Yeah, it should be fine. All right, I could do that. For sure.
Or you can just allocate a computer just for coding it.
Anyone can be doing this.
No, I don't mind. I guess I'm just trying to still think about like the tutorial thing. Like, yeah, I guess I'm just worried about how many tutorials we go through. I feel like maybe as long as we're using the tutorials to work towards building this app,
this is gonna be the biggest
it'll be okay.
kind of an app ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna start like giving tutorials on how to follow tutorials.
Like, so I would almost be pulled in two different directions, right? If we're going the tutorials route, I'd almost want to start from scratch each week. But if we're trying to like create a project, I'd rather like have a project and then work towards goals. And the shitty thing about like having a big project is there is going to be some of the work that's just not going to be fun, like the deployment stuff or whatever no one wants to do is going to be a pain.
No, I mean, you can delegate to other people. It's not that you have to do it at all, you know.
You can delegate no things in a group when people aren't being paid to code.
Yeah, no one's like you can't delegate anything to anyone. I agree with that.
Oh my God, you just proposed that yesterday, Lee.
What? I proposed delegating? No, I didn't.
Yes,
I
you
gave a speech about how I couldn't delegate to anyone.
No, you said that you wanted to give work to me and Mustafa.
No, I said there's no way that would work because well, I don't want to go into that speech again. But you proposed that, and I said there's no way.
No, I did not propose that. You said it.
It doesn't matter. You guys are on the same page now.
Yeah. I agree with Matt.
Oh my God.
I agree with.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I don't know what application we want to build. Maybe we can start with a Kubernetes tutorial. I don't really have that like big idea. There's maybe that web page I wanted to build, which lets you edit that thing for the app. Great expectations. I was interested in doing that, but I want something that everyone can get on board with.
I think that like sounds like an awesome project because it sounds small enough to do in like 2 or 3 weeks.
Wait, I glitched out.
I said I think that project was a good project. Evan, you there? The 2020 census, I don't think you have access to it.
Which one? The actual COVID?
Huge government, like, are you just like a key person in the government and none of us knew about that?
What are you talking about? Like, it's available.
No,
The 2010 is, Tom.
I'm sorry?
The 2010 is, the 2020 is still ongoing. So, I mean, I know people working on the census, but I don't think any of them will give it.
Oh, census. I thought you said I thought you said the COVID cases. I'm sorry, I misheard you.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to overlay it with how much money the electeds in those districts take from like interest groups, so like from real estate and stuff like that. So we can do some shaming. My favorite.
Yeah, let's do shaming. I'm all about those ideas.
Okay, if people want to help me find that data, I think I know someone who has a bunch of spreadsheets for some of this data, but we would have to get like shape files for each district and somehow
Like the
aggregate like the
actual
median
district.
income.
Go to video analytics.
All right, so I was able to get the Kubernetes tutorial working. So let's just follow one of the Kubernetes tutorials at the bottom, like use Apache Zookeeper with a distributed system coordinator, one of these things. Deploying WordPress and MySQL with persistent volumes. That seems like a good way to get our digital agency set up. Deploying Cassandra with a stateful set. That seems pretty cool.
Okay, I'm back. Damn.
Welcome back.
Okay, Evan, we're done with your plan for making you an OnlyFans page. Now we're going with Mo's plan.
Yeah, I guess I missed most of the discussion. Okay, OnlyFans page.
No, we're not making you an OnlyFans page anymore.
So
Wait,
we were
we
gonna
can do
build.
that too. We can make a little map, and then underneath it, it's like, if you want to fund more of this, donate to Evan, and then we can have like a shirtless picture.
What would I do on my
Thirst
OnlyFans?
traps.
Nice.
I would code.
Yeah. And Mo wants you to post a shirtless photo for advert for marketing.
Yeah, Evan, let's get that money. Thirst trap.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, money. Oh, is Edwin still here?
Yeah.
You were talking about Kubernetes.
Yeah, so yeah, I finished the tutorial, and it seems like let's just extend this Kubernetes tutorial for the bottom. They have a lot more tutorials on the stateless and applications and the stateful applications, and I was just proposing let's just do one of these and extend this tutorial.
But extended how?
Like for example, like do you want a stateless app? Do you want to do a stateless application or a stateful application?
Stateless.
So we can deploy a PHP guestbook with Redis, which seems like we're already like are 80% done with that in terms of what we currently just finished with the tutorial. But we can add logging. Well, now it's just adding logging and metrics to the PHP Redis guestbook example. But yeah, it seems like we already did this part of the. Well, this has the. I'm just skimming through the tutorial right now. They actually do go into the scaling and the load balancer piece, and that could be interesting.
Let's have a meeting to discuss this part over soccer this weekend.
Friday.
Saturday or Sunday.
I'm gonna be away Saturday and Sunday.
Let me guess. You're gonna go to Queens.
No, I actually am going to Long Beach Island.
Long Beach Island.
Okay, Matt or someone else, soccer this Saturday or Sunday for.
I'm down.
Okay, Tom's in. That's good. Tom can finally pick up those girls.
Yeah.
I believe in you, Tom.
Wow, guys. I can do
Okay.
it. I can do it. But I'd rather code. Whose keyboard is that?
I think we did this already, though.
No, we didn't do the scaling piece at the bottom. So we're just extending this, and also they have the adding logging and metrics on the left. So there's more extensions that we can do to this tutorial that we just built.
Hey, what about Instagram? Like that idea fell through.
Oh, scale the web front end.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just scale the front end and also add logging and metrics, and also exposing the they also have the exposing an external IP address to access an application in the cluster. So let's domain name or something, we can actually get something going. We can actually use our local host, our local computer to actually run one of our domain names, which is pretty cool. We don't have to go to AWS. But yeah,
Right. It just won't be up.
no, it would be up because what we're doing is it's just that our computer will be the server. Does that make
I
sense?
think Evan means it won't be up like 24/7 if we turn off our computer,
Yeah.
which is fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine with me.
Yeah, so let's so now that we've built this locally, let's just extend it with these stateless applications. It seems like it's a natural extension to what we already have built, and yeah, it's very. And if people haven't caught up,